Hi, good morning. I hope you're coping well during lockdown and hopefully enjoying the sunshine. I just wanted to share with you during this unprecedented time a Bible passage that has been extremely helpful to me over this last year, and it's Matthew 11 verse 28, and it's "Come to me, all who labour and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And about a year ago, my mum, who had sadly been diagnosed with dementia, was experiencing some health complications. And I remember that there was one night when I just could not sleep, and I had knots in my tummy, and I was starting to have a really bad headache. And I remember God saying to me, "Come." So I got out of bed and knelt on the floor, and I pictured handing over to him this really heavy burden that I had been carrying. And the picture I got back was of him taking over the burden and putting on his shoulders. And as he did that, I felt this supernatural peace, which ordinarily people, or indeed I, would not have experienced during that unsettling time. And I saw that when he took my burden, it became really, really light to him. And I was then just able to go to sleep. And then a couple of days later, I got the word from him, and it was wise counsel. So I saw that prompting as a way to open up to my friends, to let them know what I was experiencing. And I was part of the Alive Church community, and so a lot of my friends got round me and they stood with me and they prayed for me, and I had messages of hope, and they would also send me voice messages too, and there were times that I was invited round to dinner, and this just helped enormously. And then I got to know the nurses that were caring for Mum, and I was very grateful for the job that they were doing, and I'd often go in and I thanked them for the way in which they were taking care of her, and I would take an interest in their lives as well. Now, 6 months later, Mum sadly died, but she was a believer and she knew Jesus. And the night before she died, I remember just sitting with her and I was talking to her, sort of reading a Bible verse, and I felt I'd sing a few songs to her, and one of the songs I chose was by Elevation Worship, and it was called Living Hope. And then when she died, it was just so peaceful. Everything that I was worried about didn't come into being, and it was absolutely fine, although it was very sad. And for a week after that, there was a line from the song Living Hope that kept going around my head, and it was, "His buried body began to breathe." And I knew that that was a sign from God to say that Mum was well, she was with him, and she was at peace, and she was in heaven. And it provided me with so much hope to know that she was there, and it just enabled me to move on with my life and to focus on my family. And I would just encourage you that anybody that's going through sort of really difficult circumstances, to know that there is a God, there's a Father God out there who really, really cares for you. And now he invites us to come to him. He says, "Come." And when he does that, he almost takes the weight of responsibility that we are carrying, and he puts it on his shoulders, and it provides us with the opportunity to cope with the situation that we are dealing with. He's also a God that really cares about our lives. He cares about every single detail. And if you're searching about God and you'd like to know more about him, then during the lockdown period, or even after, you can enrol in an Alpha course. And at Alive Church, they are providing the course online, so you don't even need to leave the comfort of your own living room. All you need to do is go onto the website www.alive.org.uk. Now, part of Alive as well, we offer connect groups too, which you can join, and those meetings are also taking place online so that you can get to know other believers in the church and also make some really good friends. Thank you for listening.